So this is how you document multiple patients. So the first thing you're going to want to really keep in mind is that to keep track of each time that you've seen a patient, as well as the time that you spent with each patient. I know that you can't always put it right down to the dot, but obviously if you know that you spent more time with patient A than patient B, you're going to want to show that in documentation. So the first thing you're going to do is pick the day that you volunteered, and then you're going to put your first name and last name. You're going to put patient related, and then you're going to put your patient's first name and last name. Then you're going to click that you did a companionship visit. And next you're going to put in the total miles that you drove from point A to point C. So say that you are volunteering after work. It's going to be 10 miles from work to the facility and then 10 miles from the facility to your house. So total is going to be 20 miles. You're only going to include this in your first patient. You don't want to put in double miles. So the start drive time is going to actually start from when you walk out of work. So say you get out of work at 5 p.m. and it takes you 15 minutes to get there. So 5 to 5:15. And you see your first patient for about a half hour. So we're going to put in 5:45 p.m. And so because you're going to see your other patient, you're not going to put in your drive time. So you're just going to still put in the 5:45 p.m. Now in the description, we don't need it really elaborate. You can just put if it's your first, your intro visit. And then when you go back, if you talk about the weather, then you can just put good visit, talked about weather. If you talked about fashion or about family, just say good visit, talked about XYZ. You don't have to get into detail, that's okay. And then you're going to click I certify that this information is correct. When you submit it, the screen is going to show up, and you want to make sure that the screen shows up, because if it doesn't, then that means it's not processed through. And you can always email me to make sure after you have submitted it. So now we're going to submit the second patient that you saw. So again, you're going to go back, put the date that you went, you're going to put your first name and your last name. You're going to put that it was patient related, and you're going to put your second patient's first name, last name of patient number 2, and you're going to do a companionship visit. And so you've already put in your total miles, so you're going to put 0. And your start time is actually going to be 5:45 when you stop seeing the first patient. And again, you're going to put in 5:45. And now this is when you're going to put in your drive time. So say you stayed with them until 6:15. And it took you 15 minutes to get home, so you're going to put in 6:30. And again, you can just put intro visit. If you did happen to see a nurse's aide or a nurse or the music therapist, you are always more than welcome to say, music therapist came in or chaplain came in, we said hi, just so that they know who comes in and who comes out. And you can click that you certify and submit. So I know that this can get a little complicated, so if you certainly need more help and you want to make sure you're doing it correct, you can always call, text, or email me, and then we can always do Skype if you're still having a little bit of trouble.